Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors. On this episode of Toys Are the Way, we will be taking a look at the latest Vintage Collection action figure 2-pack from the Galaxy of Heroes, Jedi Knight Revan and HK47. Two characters from Legends and the expanded universe that I'm very excited to see make their way into the line. And if you're new to the channel or a fan of Star Wars collecting, be sure to drop a like on this video, remember to subscribe, and make sure to ring that bell to stay notified. But with all that being said, let's take a closer look at the packaging, the card backs, and these two figures. And taking a look at the packaging, we have our standard box that we're seeing more and more with these Vintage Collection action figure 2-packs, which so far I've been a pretty big fan of. Yes, they've been a little bit more pricier than your standard figure, but the quality of the card back inside has been quite nice and very refreshing in terms of stuff we're seeing lately, so very happy with that. And then we have the Star Wars logo up above with Galaxy of Heroes, and then Jedi Knight Revan and HK47, who are set up in a nice toy photography bit of a scene here with, it looks like a temple in the background, and I really like all the purple and like magenta colors. I think that's working really well with Revan's saber and just the cinnamon colors that are on HK47, so that looks really nice in my opinion. Then you got the special action figure logo up here that just says, two figures included inside, and that is nicely balanced with the Kenner logo down below. So all in all, a pretty good looking box in my opinion. Then on the top, you have the Galaxy of Heroes logo again, along with another two pictures of the figures inside. And then on the side, we have HK47 with a nice yellow background that really helps pop that character off of that. That looks really nice. And then on the opposite side, we have Revan with a nice purple color that once again works really nicely with his saber and really pops with that cinnamon color or brown color of his vest armor there. So I really like how that's looking. And then on the back, we have this nice Star Galaxy background with the two images of the card backs that are included inside with the Vintage Collection logo. So that looks really nice as well. So all in all, another great addition to our action figure 2-packs, and I'm very excited to open this one up and take a look at these card backs and figures. And if you just so happen to be new to collecting or these action figure 2-packs, this is how your carded samples will come inside. They're kind of protected by this cardboard insert, which is a little tricky to pull out on this particular 2-pack, but you can still actually just have the two cards slide out like that. So that's pretty cool. And then they're protected by tissue paper. And kicking things off, we have Jedi Knight Revan on a Galaxy of Heroes card back. And I've got to say that this is a really nice image of the character in a temple setting. And I just absolutely love how all that natural light is coming down that chamber and bringing lots of life to this card back. And then we have the saber ignited on the card image, which is always nice to see. And it looks really good with that Kenner logo down below. So really nice stuff. And then we have this purple name pill color, which I actually think looks really, really cool. And then that just really helps this figure pop on that bubble. So all in all, this is a fantastic addition to our carded collections. And then on the back, he is VC 306 in the line, and we had that new design for the back of the card backs, which looks fantastic with that really strong pop of color. And we have Jedi Knight Revan with a little description of him. Again, the image of the card and the figure. So really good stuff on the back. And this is just going to make a nice addition to our carded collections, and I'm very happy to see more and more characters like this making their way into the Vintage Collection. And taking a look at Jedi Knight Revan out of the packaging, I have got to say that some incredible sculpting and detail has been put into this figure. I'm still waiting on my Darth Revan from the latest Vintage Collection wave, which is a bit of a bummer, and it's cool that I'm able to get this one at least and take a look at him. And I've got to say that I'm very, very impressed. Here you can see his saber in detail. Looks really, really nice. It's got the purple color. And one thing I want to point out is that he's got pretty good range of motion in his arms, which is nice for, people who are wielding sabers. And he's also got the hinged wrist, which I think is very important for any character that has a lightsaber. Unfortunately, we did not see that with our Sabine Wren, and some of these other characters are just not getting those hinged wrists, which is a bit unfortunate, and I would like to see that more often moving forward. But taking a closer look at him, he's got some really nice detail there on his chest armor and his belt, and all those silver paint deco hits on his buckles. And then of course he's got the soft plastic hood, which is removable. And if you take a close look at his helmet, you got some really nice paintwork there as well. And I've always been a big fan of his helmet design. It is just wonderful, and he's got some really good range of motion on that as well, actually, if you get rid of the hood. Unfortunately, the hood does, limit some of that, but it's not a deal breaker in my opinion. And then you can always put it back on. And despite, the hood having some limitations, he does have decent range of motion, so looks pretty great in my opinion. And then here you can see some more of those really nice sculpting details that are added to his forearms and his shoulders, and just, yeah, it looks really good. Also, I'm really enjoying the paint deco that they put here for this copper color on his gauntlets and his gloves. Looks really nice. When I saw it also in picture, I wasn't a huge fan of the plastic, just because I know it will be awkward sometimes, perhaps if he sits or, certain fighting stances, but it's actually a really bendy plastic, so I'm okay with it. I definitely still would have preferred a soft goods material maybe, but I think it does a decent job. And then, of course, he has the new style barbell hips that we're seeing on all of our figures, and also swivel at the thigh, which will allow for some more dynamic posing. And then he's got ball jointed knees and rocker ankles, so doing pretty good down here in terms of articulation these days when it comes to our 375 figures. And he's got some more of that paint deco down here, which looks really nice. And yeah, the only thing I'll also say is, he doesn't have quite a 90-degree range of motion on his on his knees, which is a little bit unfortunate, but he also has a little bit of hindrance because of the skirt. So it's not a total deal breaker, and I'm definitely pretty sure I'll be able to get him in some really nice fighting stances. Jedi Knight Revan is an excellent addition to the vintage collection, and I'm very happy to see Hasbro make an effort to get not only his Sith look, but also this Jedi Knight costume into the heritage scale. This all-new from the ground up figure is a smart repaint of the new Darth Revan from the latest vintage collection wave. Jedi Knight Revan sports all the modern articulation TVC fans want to see released with their action figures. New style barbell hips, ball jointed everything, and rocker ankles will allow the character to achieve some excellent fighting stances. While I'm usually in favor of the combination of soft goods paired with soft plastic elements, I will say that the longer piece on his skirt would work much better as a soft goods fabric. And moving right along, we have the second character from this action figure 2-pack, and it is HK47 on a Galaxy of Heroes card back. And I've got to say that I think this is my favorite card of the 2-pack. The HK47 looks fantastic in this image. I really like how the Kenner logo is placed down below, and just something about all that light that's kind of reflecting up and really highlighting this assassin droid just makes him look very intimidating. And I just also love the purples in the background. Everything is just working with these warm tones, and it's a really strong card in my opinion. And then we have this nice figure on a yellow name pill color. And yeah, it's great to see that, Hasbro does have some of these older assets, because this was a Build-A-Droid figure from the Legacy collection, and it's a good one to bring back out there, I may not be a big fan of swivel hips, but for this droid, I think I can live with it, It's not too bad, but yeah, a very strong card in my opinion. And then on the back, he is VC 305 in the line, and we have the same layout that we're starting to see on all of our new carded figures, with this nice yellow color, the image of the card, figure, and a vintage collection logo. So as I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure this is my favorite card of the 2-pack, and I'm really looking forward to adding one of these to my Gaming Greats carded collection. Taking a look at the HK47 Assassin Droid out of the packaging, I'm very happy to finally add this Build-A-Droid design to my collection. Hopefully they'll bring back that other paint variant and, release that somehow in the vintage collection. But yeah, very happy to have this one. While it is a bit of an older figure and it's kind of outdated in terms of the articulation, it still looks really good. It's a great sculpt, and I think they did a really nice job actually with some of the paint deco hits on here. Just adding those silver hits right there make him look nice and weathered up, and I think that looks great. They could have probably added a little bit more to the mechanical areas that have this gunmetal gray, but it's not a deal breaker if you want to add some of that yourself. But yeah, he's a really good looking droid, but like I said, he is a little bit outdated when it comes to the articulation, because he does have swivel hips, which is of course a bit of a shame. I would have liked to see a little bit more updates there, but again, he's a droid, so sometimes they're not the most dynamic, characters in the Star Wars universe. One thing I will say that I wish they did improve is the hands. So he doesn't have any type of hinges, or, he does have a swivel there, but unfortunately, because of that, he's very limited in the way he can interact with his accessory, the rifle. So he's pretty much limited to just this pose. And something that really sucks is he can't even do the pose that you see on the card, where this is a little bit more pointed downward and he's holding it. And yeah, that's a bit of a shame when the character can't kind of do that. He also can't really hold this up to his like chest area around here and do a really nice sniping position because there's no hinge on this wrist. It's just, the swivel. So if they would have at least updated the hands to have a hinge, that would have been a really nice update, and I would have been very appreciative of that. Also, if you look at the card back, it kind of looks like this rifle is supposed to have like a handle or something like that, which would have been better too for that kind of posing, but I guess it's not a deal breaker. But taking a closer look at him, he's got some pretty good articulation up here in terms of like droids. He can swivel. There's no real crunch to that. Oh, I guess there's a little bit of actually a crunch to it, which is kind of cool. And then of course he's got, ball joints at his elbows. He's got these knees, which, yeah, they're ball jointed as well. And then just a hinge down here, I think. Yeah, no rocker ankles or anything like that. And of course his head goes side to side. There's no real articulation of like moving it up and down. So all in all, he's a pretty good release, and I'm definitely happy to add this to the collection. But yeah, like I said, it would have been nice if they at least can improve that. But also, like I said before, I will definitely take the other color variant of the Builder Droid from the Legacy collection because I would love to add a few of those to my collection as well. This HK-47 assassin droid was known for its dark humor, but there's nothing funny about swivel hips in 2023. While I'm very grateful to see more droids added to the vintage collection, this figure from the old Legacy collection Build-A-Droid release certainly shows some age, especially when compared to our current releases like the HK-87 assassin droids from Ahsoka. I guess it's hard to compare Old Republic to a New Republic era model. Regardless, the figure looks wonderful and can achieve a decent amount of poses for a droid, despite the limited articulation. Although upgraded wrist articulation would have allowed this hunter-killer to interact with the weapon with greater ease in my opinion. I hope you've enjoyed this video and taking a look at the latest vintage collection action figure 2-pack Jedi Knight Revan and HK-47. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you.